Welcome to Global Alignment and Strategy, Cross-Border Data Sharing in Pharmacovigilance. Cross-border data sharing in PV refers to the exchange of adverse event datasets between countries or regions to ensure global drug safety. Drug safety concerns are not confined by national borders, and adverse reactions reported in one country may impact patients worldwide. However, expanding global collaboration in pharmacovigilance requires navigating complex regulatory frameworks, ensuring data security, and overcoming barriers like differences in reporting standards. The importance of cross-border PV collaborations. It improves signal detection. Combining adverse drug reactions data globally increases statistical power. Example, an identification of myocarditis risks in connection with mRNA vaccines through shared datasets from WHO and EMA. Global risk minimization helps apply preemptive safety measures in multiple countries. Example, the prompt recall of contaminated antihypertensive APIs from India. Better regulatory alignment, harmonized responses to safety signals across regions. International frameworks supporting data sharing. Several regulatory agreements and frameworks aim to streamline global PV practices. The ICH E2B standard is the guideline that specifies electronic adverse drug reporting formats to ensure uniformity worldwide. Example, all individual case safety reports submitted via systems like the Vigilance or the FDA MidWatch adhere to ICH E2B R3 standards for seamless sharing. The WHO Program for International Drug Monitoring. It facilitates a global adverse drug reaction database known as Vigibase, managed by the Uppsala Monitoring Center, UMC. Data from more than 170 member countries are shared and analyzed for potential global safety signals. Regional systems. Vigilance is a EU-wide database for adverse drug reaction monitoring and data exchange. MedWatch is a US-based system that collaborates with international regulators via ICH E2B R3 guidelines. Example, adverse events linked to COVID-19 vaccines were rapidly exchanged between FDA and EMA. The roles of agreement like the GDPR and HIPAA in data sharing. The GDPR is the General Data Protection Regulation, which enforces strict guidelines on cross-border data sharing from the EU to third countries unless adequate data protection exists. The HIPAA, or the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, influences the US sharing of health information by protecting patient privacy. Some barriers to cross-border data sharing. Regulatory differences. Different countries may lack harmonized PV regulations, leading to inconsistent reporting requirements. For instance, some countries demand detailed follow-up adverse drug reaction reports, while others accept minimal data. Legal and privacy constraints. Legal frameworks like the GDPR can restrict moving patient-centered ADR data internationally. Example, sharing patient adverse drug reaction data from the EU to non-EU countries without an explicit legal agreement is prohibited. Data anonymization often conflicts with the need for traceable adverse drug reaction follow-ups. Technical challenges. Various formats and reporting systems, example XML for the ICH E2B or CSV formats in non-harmonized systems, slow collaboration. Political barriers. Trade conflicts or protectionism may hinder data exchange for essential drugs or new biopharmaceuticals. Language barriers. Reports written in native languages may be challenging to translate, affecting clarity and quality of adverse drug reaction datasets. How regulatory bodies navigate cross-border data sharing. Harmonization of guidelines. Global conventions like the ICH guidelines promote standardized regulations for uniform adverse event reporting. Example, the ICH E2B enables smooth electronic submissions regardless of geography. Mutual agreements between regulators. Countries sign MOUs or memorandums of understanding to facilitate data exchange. For instance, the FDA and EMA collaborate under an MOU for pharmacovigilance inspections and data sharing. The usage of technology. Modern databases like Vigibase or EVDAS, Vigilance Data Analytics Systems, enable secure real-time data sharing that complies with regional regulations. Some real-world applications in cross-border data sharing. Healthcare professionals help identifying global adverse drug reaction patterns for rare drug reactions like granulocytosis and painkillers. Regulatory affairs specialists help create standard operating protocols for aligning US MedWatch data submissions within the GDPR compliance in Europe. Pharmaceutical manufacturers share clinical trial adverse drug reaction data between the EU, US, and WHO to improve labeling practices. Policy experts negotiating trade agreements within the adverse drug reactions data sharing clauses. IT professionals and PV teams help build data sharing interoperability tools for multinational pharmacovigilance systems.